Hello and welcome to my IJM packing series. So I thought it would be a good idea to film a video where I show how I pack for a international level pageant. Obviously if you're competing in a national pageant, this is just as useful, but for me this is my fourth time competing on an international level overseas with limited luggage weight. My first tip would be, while we're on the topic, is to make sure you know what your airline's luggage allowance is. You can usually always purchase more luggage, but it's definitely good to know before you start packing, so that way you can get an idea of where you are based on how much weight they'll allow you to take in each suitcase and how many suitcases as well. Of course, this is coming with me. This is my blingy bobbin IJM sweatshirt. So this is coming with me, it's staying close, and it's going in my carry-on bag. So for my travels, I'll be heading through to Dallas. I'll be spending one night in Dallas and then heading over to Orlando. I'm doing one night of Disney, or one day of Disney. So I'm needing clothes particularly for those things and events, completely unpageant related. So what I have done is I've packed everything into a packing cube. This has everything I need down to the correct number of socks and underwear of everything I'll need just for Dallas and that day in Orlando before we head to pageant land, essentially. And that's because I don't want to have to get out my pageant suitcases. I want to keep this separate and easy to access, so that way when we get to Dallas and then transfer to Orlando for our first night stay for Disney, I don't have to worry about any of my other outfits. I don't have to worry about getting any of my other suitcases open, because this will be separate and all contained. In my carry-on, I am putting my casual wear. I'm hoping she's all right in there on her own. I've just got a lot of things that are obviously covered in beading, my fun fashion. I've got a white jumpsuit. I don't want any color transfer, so I just worry about this, which should be right. She should be right. If I can, I'll try and keep this separate to everything else, or I might even put like a towel or something in between some of my outfits just to maintain their structure and keep them as intact as possible. On to accessories and other little bits and bobs. I'm thinking I was originally going to bring this whole organizer, which I've had for my jewelry for a couple of pageants, but I'm thinking I might leave this. I've got my earrings as well that are more your competition earrings in there. I'm thinking I'm going to organize them all now, bring just what I need and maybe a couple of extra pairs, but instead of taking this whole thing, which has been great for me, I'm organizing my earrings a bit different to what I have in the past. For example, I'm not bringing these, I don't need them at all, but the plan is to use these little bags, which I've got heaps here, and hang those on the coat hangers of any of the outfits that I'll be wearing, which I'll be organized and set up with. Any other spare ones I can lay out across a surface, or I can even just keep on the end of my clothes rack, which I'm planning on bringing in these little bags if I need. pageanty, delicate ones that have the rhinestone detailing. So what I'm going to do, or what I've done, is put them in their little mesh bags and then put them back in the box. So they'll be in the box in the suitcase. The other like necklacey bit and just rehearsal jewellery or party jewellery is staying in here. Okay, so we've made progress. I have taken everything out of the vacuum seal bags and put them in packing cubes instead. I'm finding that this is stacking easier, and then also I've got more room. So I've just popped my shoes in. I've still got some shoes for my sneakers for Fun Fitness. I've got my steamer there. And then these are all shoes, and then my jewellery bit's just tucked inside there, and I still have room, which is great. We're making progress, but I still have all of this stuff to go in. That's my crown stuff, pageant week, hair and makeup type of outfits. Extensions over there. The place is a mess, but we're getting there. I'm planning on putting any liquids, makeup, maybe my steamer, things like that in there, so that all my outfits, this suitcase here has no liquids at all, nothing that could damage the shoes, jewelry, outfits, and then everything else that doesn't quite matter will go in there. This is something that I've never tried before, but I thought would be perfect for pageant week. They're front wedgie proof underwear, and that pretty much sums it up. And they've got great reviews. So they're seamless nude and hopefully really good for stage, especially things like when I'm wearing jumpsuits or activewear. So we'll see how they go. Another tip I've had throughout the years is bring a collapsible laundry hamper, and this goes into your, well, it stays in your hotel room obviously, but it is a space where you can place all of your wardrobe, clothes, whatever, throughout the week into this, and then it's later's problem. Everything you've already worn or any clothes you've worn throughout the week that's non-competition related, just pop it in here and then sort it out later. It's out of the way. You don't have to get the suitcases back out and reorganize everything, but then for when you're packing to go home, you know that everything in there needs to be washed, or yeah, you don't essentially need anymore. So then it folds up into something so tiny, and then you can reuse it as well. This is a the Sally Hansen airbrush legs. I feel like it's pretty much in every single pageant girl's kit, but if you don't have it, it essentially is like leg makeup. It makes your legs look flawless, gorgeous. Just make sure you're following the instructions and when to put it on, because you don't want it staining any of your outfit. This is something that I haven't tried before, but it seems like it will work really well. It's called the Clutch Glue, and it's essentially liquid. It looks basically exactly like glue, and it is for your wardrobe. So it acts as like a double-sided clothing tape, similar to Hollywood tape, but in liquid form. I've got backups of clothing tape in case I need it and in case this doesn't work as well, but I'm really counting on this to be really good. I'll let you know how it is. I've come in with Mr. Muscles here. He's helping me do it up. Oh, she's struggling. It'll be right. Look at those twos. How are we going? How heavy do we think it is?
Heavy.
Heavy? Great.
Not too bad, actually.
Is it feeling like 23 kilos?
I reckon it'd be under 20. Under 20.
Cool.
Let's give it a go.
Let's weigh it. I'm saying 19 and a half. How much are you saying?
18 and a half.
18 and a half. Ooh, we've got shopping room, guys.
22.3.
Ooh, I mean, it's under 23, so we're winning, really. Okay, so we've made some progress with the other suitcase. I did just make this up as well. It's something I do every single flight, or every single international flight. It's just got some necessities, hydrolyte, sort of electrolytes, some face mist. There's a mask in there. There's a lot of eye patches and eye masks, a little silk hair tie, Panadol, tissues, everything you might need that you won't be given on the flight. And then moving on to here, I have a little container of spare rhinestones and any little bits and bobs for my outfits, particularly the breakfast at IJM. I have some Q-tips, a little headband for when I do my makeup. These are some just cheap hand towels, and these essentially, one will be for my makeup if I need to cover anything, to like rinse out my beauty blender, and then the other will be to take the makeup off my face, so I don't have to use the hotel towels, and they're brown. Well, they're different shade to the white ones, because that way I can tell the difference easier. In here we have just some pageant week essentials, leggings, a couple of outfits to stay comfy with, some Hollywood tape, all of those fun things. In here, up here, I have all of my tanning stuff. I'll be tanning myself. So the tan I'll be using is the Loving Tan Maximum, I think it is. And then in the top here, I have some baby wipes, a lint roller, and a couple other little bits and bobs. And then Peep My Shoes, that's my plain outfit. I've got like a little light that'll help me with my filming, but then also my hair and makeup. This is all my makeup that I'll be needing for the pageant. I got a little Stanley. My boyfriend got this for me for Christmas, so I'm so excited to use it. And this will be for any liquids that aren't water, pretty much. So if I'm getting iced coffees, which I tend to do throughout the day, or if I'm having a little pick-me-up type of drink, that will be in there, and then it closes. I can take it throughout the hotel with me. I've got a lot of electrolytes in here. I haven't tried this brand before, the Level Up, but I do have a lot of different ones in there, and they're stuffed in there. The plan is at least one a day to keep the electrolytes up. I think that's everything. Yeah, my steamer. Last little bits in here are my hair extensions, and then I've got some Aussie like traditional treats like Tim Tams and things like that to add in, and that's for like little gifts. I have my clothing rack which I'll add to my other suitcase, and yeah, other little bits like that. But packing is pretty much done. It was the night before the pageant and we've pretty much finished packing. So these are all my toiletries that I might need. I've got in here pretty much everything for my boyfriend and I throughout the year have been collecting travel sized products. So this is my favorite shampoo to use to really clean my hair, which I'll be needing through pageant week. That, and then a couple of other little bits like this have been from Sephora points. So obviously with doing my own makeup, I've been getting a lot of Sephora points, so definitely making use out of that. I've got some other little products. That's a body spray, and then I have my perfume, a lot of eye patches and eye masks, cleanser. I then have my main hairbrush. I'm leaving this out because I'll be using it tonight and tomorrow. And then in terms of hair products, I really don't have much. I've got my own heat protectant, a little comb, a hairspray, heatless curls. That's what I'll be doing when I'm doing my own hair for like pre-pageant stuff. And then I just have a couple of little extra bits that I purchased when I thought I was going to be doing my own hair. I then have a little hairbrush. I might add it in here, but that's going to basically stay in my garment bags, and it will be coming backstage and to the dressing rooms with me in case I have to fix my hair up. So I'll add that in here now. That is just a small handheld brush. It's basically like a tangle teaser. I find these types of bristled brushes best for the pageant volume and the pageant sort of waves. So adding that in there, and then that'll go in there once I'm ready. This is all my skincare. Again, I've been collecting little bits. What I asked for Christmas was stuff like the Tower 28 spray in the travel size. These two were in a little kit. This is my favorite, vitamin C. Absolutely love it, but I again got it in the travel size. Sunscreen, facial pads. This as well, it was in a little set. Hello, it is the next day. Yesterday I left you off when we were pretty much finished packing, but we're just doing the final things today, and I thought I'd run you through some of it. So I've got all my suitcases out. There's 4 suitcases in total, 3 quite large ones and then 1 carry-on suitcase. And at this stage I've made a couple of packing lists. This is everything that I've thought of and accumulated to pack, both pageant related and non-pageant related as well. So let's run through. I'm going to tick all that stuff off in a minute. So we have this one here. This is pretty much non-liquids, all liquids, makeup, no outfits or anything that can get damaged. I've got all my snacks to give as like little gifts. My makeup's in there. I've got spare stuff for some of my outfits. I've got a sewing kit in there, portable adapter for the outlets. This is a really good one I just found on Amazon as well, with the USB and USB-C ports. Over here we have my carry-on bag. So this will sit on top of my little suitcase. I've got my crown box that inside it has my sweatshirt with some sunglasses, my little amenities kit that I did up. I've got my Polaroid camera that I'll be adding in. Then going over here, this is where my evening gown is and my runway outfit. we've just added in here the clothes rack. It pretty much only fits like this, so let's hope it does up from here. So in this suitcase here we have everything that we'll need for before the pageant. So there's a bunch of my casual clothes, my boyfriend's in there. I've got some makeup brushes. I've just added those floss picks in, but I'll probably put those into my toiletries bag. I've got any medication, band-aids, alcohol wipes, anything we might need. This will obviously be handy for the pageant as well, but in case we need it beforehand, that's in here. Some of my jewellery. In here is my makeup that I'll be using for before the pageant. And then we've just got some extra shoes and bits there. Some film for my Polaroid camera. And then moving on to this suitcase, this is my carry-on. I have my casual wear and my title holder jacket in this side, and then in this side I have pretty much all my other outfits. In there I have my orientation, my interview, my breakfast at IJM, and my fun fashion. So that's all nice and tight in there. I have just repacked my carry-on bag a little bit. I've just taken my crown case out because that's something I could probably hold on to, and that's left me with more room in my carry-on. The only thing I think I have left to pack now is electronics and charging cables. We're currently charging all the devices so they're nice and charged for the plane trip. Plane ride's going to be about 15 to 16 hours. For the long flights, I think preparation is key. The more flights you do, the more you realize what you're needing to get, what you use most, and what you can sort of leave behind.